And good morning. I'm checking everything to make sure Mike's work this morning. It looks as though we're ready and off to the races we go. Me and Odie were having a good laugh before we got started this morning. There's so much to talk about. This happened over the last 24 hours. I want you to be here. Coming up at 7 a.m. this one will all begin. Now, as we start this morning out, you folks in eastern Lauderdale County and also northeastern Clarke County have been getting wet. Let's go to radar and take a look at here. A flash flood warning has been issued as we look at this. Let's pull up Honda radar as we'll look at this. Look at this rain that has moved through here on top of Livingston, Alabama now. This area here, if you live in eastern Lauderdale County from Tumsuba over, why not? Let's turn on some locations here. Now, as you can see, the rain is moving out. This will start there at Southeast School in that area there, the Boy Scouts, Why Not Motorsports Park, and take it in this northeastern corner of Clarke County. If you live in Energy, out here near, we'll put it here at the fire department there at Snell, all of this area here under a flash flood warning this morning as it makes its way out of the county now into Alabama. Still heavy rain just east of the Cefco and the Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena there. And even on Highway 45, still heavy rain all the way to the Chicken Shack. Heavy rain there on that eastern side, east of Highway 45, going toward Livingston as well. Even moderate rain as we look at this here in the northern portion of Kemper County, Highway 16 north, all the way to the Knoxville County line. This will take you all the way up to Sugarlock Lumber, this heavy rain this morning. So if you're out and about anywhere in those areas, be careful. Notable mentions, if you're traveling Highway 16 as you cross the Kemper County line, past Ford Store and that new Dollar General into Philadelphia, some heavy showers there, about an 8-mile stretch there of heavy rain, and also over here within the Neshoba County Fairgrounds as y'all are getting ready for Mississippi's giant house party. A little bit of rain coming down at this point in time. Dot, how are you? Glad to see you up. Bree is up. Also Pat, Jim Coker, Mike Dallas, good to see you. Charlotte, watching from Philadelphia, and I see Roy up there as well today. That's a few of the things shaping this. We've had some tragedy that we're going to be telling you about as well coming up at the top of the hour. An accident on Highway 19 just a little bit ago it was found around 5 o'clock, a deceased person. We've got all the details of what we know at this point on the way at the top of the hour. Let's go to Collinsville now, out to First Baptist. I think JJ's got a message for us this morning. Let's see what it is.
You can tell a lot about a person by what they wear, especially to a sporting event. At the Egg Bowl, there's usually a pretty clear distinction between who's cheering for Ole Miss and Mississippi State. You can guess where I land, right? Then there's this really small percentage wearing neutral colors who really just come to eat some barbecue nachos, and that would be my wife. Long story short, though, most people that I know that I like and cheer for Mississippi State because really, there's not a week that goes by where I don't wear an MSU shirt of some sort. And here's the thing. We know that the Bible says that we will know those who belong to God by their fruit, by the way that they live their lives. But for some people, they rely on external things as a way to earn salvation, or I should say, try to earn salvation. In Romans 2:25-29, the Jews were relying on having been circumcised as their means of being made right before God. It even infiltrated into the Roman church, where there were Christians of Jewish and Gentile backgrounds. There was a temptation for those Jewish Christians to maintain that the Gentiles needed to be circumcised to be saved. Paul, though, pushes back against it. He says that true circumcision is of the heart. And this has been God's heart all the way back to the Old Testament. You can go back to a text like Jeremiah 9, where we see God use Jeremiah to tell Israel that he will punish them because, as God put it, they were uncircumcised in the heart. So that begs the question for us today. Are you relying on external things for salvation? Baptism, good works, church attendance? All good things, yes, but they flow from salvation. They don't earn it. Or are you relying on Jesus, his death and resurrection, as the only means of salvation, and then living out the good works that God has prepared for you? That is the only way, friend. Remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collins, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back, JJ, with our message this morning. Was he wearing a Mississippi State shirt? I thought so. Good morning to you. As we start looking at some of the headlines that are shaping America this morning, as we go, let's see here. Let's take a look here what we've got. I'm going to save this story for the morning show with Odie. I'll get his remarks on this. The Powerball Anybody bought any tickets? It's reaching about $875 million now. Oh, you bought some? And you didn't tell me?
Well, I buy tickets.
You buy tickets.
Even $20 million, I buy tickets.
$875 million still up for grab. Wednesday night's drawing failed, so we got another drawing coming up. Let me see when this is going to be. A Saturday. The next drawing is Saturday, so a few days to grab you some tickets if you feel lucky. What was that song, Mayor Shapin' Carpenter? I feel lucky. As we look at headlines here as the NBA, and of course I have not watched basketball in quite some time, but LeBron James not retiring this year. 38-year-old will play another season at least of basketball. It was rumored that he may retire. Not happening at this point. Kevin Costner's wife, she was asking for how much money a month? It was astronomical. Well, they ruled yesterday. The gavel came down. She'll get $129,000 a month. She had claimed that she spent over $200,000 a month on her and the kids. How many times can you go through Wendy's and spend that kind of money? Man, $129,000. That's a lot of money. Well, it is for the real world. Maybe in the rich and famous, that's not much. But back in Mississippi and Alabama and Louisiana, we kind of see that as a large amount of money. Let's see here. Do y'all remember the surgeon, the TikTok doctor, known as Dr. Roxy, who would go in and film surgeries? Well, they said you can't do that, and they barred her for a little bit of even doing surgeries. They ruled yesterday she'll never do another surgery again. They have barred her for life of being a surgeon. She would dance and do all of it. It was bad. Doctors don't do that. Fame, is that what you would call that? Putting fame before someone's health, I think is where that went. You just don't do that. It's hard to fathom that a doctor would even try that. She apologized and swore that she would never do it again, and she won't. She won't now, with a little help there. Hey, we had a couple of pictures here as we glance around here. This would be Highway 39 yesterday. Look at this, how pretty this was. This was over Till Newell Animal. Look at the sky there. Isn't that beautiful? As we go here, this would be going toward I-20, mile marker 126, as you're headed toward Newton County. And then we had, this is Clarke County. Let me zoom in on that. Look how pretty that is. I love those pictures. And as always, if you come across something that is what you consider priceless, send it to us. We want to share it. And you're right, Teresa, the change does begin in us. Teresa reminded us that Starkville had a $100,000 winner in that lottery. So you'd end up with maybe 55, 56,000 maybe.
You might get about 75.
You could get 75. Yeah. Government gonna get their share. That is, and we say government. We don't say government. We say government when they start taking your money. Some government cheese. That cheese is good. That's like going to Williamsville, and I've always called it hoop cheese. Isn't that what you call it? Is that not the best? And you take a little Miracle Whip, and man, and then that, of course, brings up the conversation of Miracle Whip or Blue Plate.
I ain't gonna put it on cheese.
Listen, more on the way your forecast is next as we begin this day. Y'all don't rush off. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Ricky Roberts, and I have been privileged to be a lifelong resident and public servant of Lauderdale County. There's no denying crime is on a rise, and there's unrest in our community. It's time for action. It's time for change, and it's time to ensure the safety of the future for our families together. I ask that you elect me, Ricky Roberts, on August the 8th to be your next sheriff and allow me to continue serving you. This is our county, this is our home, and together we can protect it.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 Representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District 81, August 8th. Paid for by Ben Shirley.
August the 8th is not that far off, y'all. Y'all be ready for the election. There is a lot going on with that. Let's get in now to our forecast, find out what's going to be happening.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs, record lows. It was 1930, 105, 1897. What was that? Hardly a man is alive. Probably not anybody at this point. 1897, 58 degrees. A cool one on that date. As we move forward to look at what's happening today. Now, we'll see 88 to Meridian. As you'll notice there, as you get to Philadelphia and into Louisville, a little bit heavier rain there with a high of about 89. As we go south in Hattiesburg, still 89. And again, we have a flash flood warning for the eastern portion of Lauderdale County and northeastern Clarke County this morning. As we glance across here at Bama, 87 in Tuscaloosa, same as Birmingham, and we'll even see 88 in the Demopolis area this morning. As we come back across flash flooding through lunch today. And again, they focus real big on this area up here in Eupor, taking in the city of Louisville and even portions of Philadelphia here back over to Leake County. We'll watch that as the rain showers are a little bit to the west of there. Always a threat, but that's a level 3 there of rain. A lot, up to 6 inches of rain could happen there. Whew. That's a bunch. As we glance at the heat stress, what is coming, as we show today, it's going to be in the western side of the state. Vicksburg, our heat index will hit about 99 in the Meridian area, and all of this back over to Newton and taking in Clarke County. As we go east for the weekend, look at this. Friday and Saturday, we are at an elevated risk of about 110 will hit on the heat index side. It's going to be one of those bad. It's not a weekend to weed eat. Let me say that. You got to be used to all that. Our weekend weed eater warriors, y'all be careful. As we glance at what else is going on, the heat wave continues, and even hotter weather. Look at West Texas, South Texas. That's going to make its way toward Louisiana, Mississippi before long. No, we don't have any snow in the forecast, John. Not yet. We try to get on all the seasons in one day sometimes. As we glance at our 7-day outlook, 80% chance of showers today. We'll see 60% tomorrow, 40 on Saturday. It goes down a little bit, but thunderstorms are back into the forecast on Saturday with a 70% chance. And even going back to work, we'll see a 60% chance of the wet stuff. What does that tell us? Wrecks could happen. Be careful in all of this wet weather. We don't want you to be a part of that. Now, all the way through July 27th, boy, that sure is getting close to August and school starting, isn't it? We'll see the upper temperatures there, the 20th through the 22nd, the upper 90s, and then kind of level off around 90 through the 27th. August will be hot, I'm warning you. As we move forward and take a look at what's going on here, 60% chance of this becoming something. Now, this will never get to the Gulf. It'll stay the Atlantic, but it's at a 60% chance at this point as we watch all of that. We come across for the fishing forecast. Chet tells us be out there about 9 o'clock today. It'll be great till about 11. Not bad at all there. As we'll go to the wind is southwest 5 to 10 today, and that's the way the fishing forecast is shaping up today. Odie is prepared. He's been studying the last 20 minutes over here in the corner. Nothing's going to slip past him. Join us, won't you? Be a part of all this. It begins at 7. We're live here. Facebook. We'll be live on YouTube. If you hadn't joined us there, it's a great backup, or make it your number one choice for watching live on YouTube. Subscribe and like, and we're also on Twitter. You can follow us there. And as a special bonus, we'll be on television, Fox 30, beginning at 7 a.m. Join us, won't you? Be a part of what we're talking about so you'll know first all that happens in our area. Right here with the Scotty Ray Report. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.